Right, well, hello everyone, and welcome to part 4, what is the final part, regardless of building the Airfix Supermarine Spitfire Mk.1a, if you want to be particular. Here is how far we got yesterday. We've got the wheels glued on and painted, which have actually come out really nice. We repainted the propeller, which looks absolutely perfect now. Don't need to do any more painting with that, and yes, it still spins. We touched up around the exhausts, and we started on the brown camo work. Today I am going to try and bodge a rear wheel, because I had a look for it earlier, pinged off across the layout. I cannot find where this rear wheel has gone. Started to paint underneath, but decided that didn't go very well, and that piece there has just broken. So this is going to need a little bit of gluing back in place. Let's just bend that up there for now. But today I am going to hopefully finish painting the Spitfire. If we don't get finished with exactly today, then I'm not going to do any more streams on it. I haven't got time to do any more streams apart from this one this weekend. So if there will just be, if I don't finish today, a couple of little extra bits to do. But there won't be very much, and I'll keep you updated in my Discord and on my community page as well. So if there are things to finish after the stream, there certainly won't be very much to finish. So we will certainly get hopefully finished with this today. If not, we will very much get almost 98% of the way finished with this today. So that is the plan of action. Do enjoy the stream, everyone, and I will see you all in about 13 seconds. Enjoy the stream, and let's crack on with building this Spitfire. Right, let's crack on. First, quick hello to people in the chat. Jaden from on the main line, thank you for joining. Pete from Pete's Transport and more. Kurt popped in to say hello. Hello, Kurt. Although you've probably gone now. So yeah, let's crack on. I have somewhere also, as per the instructions, let's get the keyboard out of the way before I spill water all over it and mash so many buttons I don't even know what's gone wrong. I have got some warm water for the decals, however you want to say it, some warm water as per the instructions, so yeah, there's quite a lot of these to put on. Dearie me, there is a lot of these to put on. But hopefully we can get... I might not bother with the fine ones, but we'll see how good we get on with this. But anyway, we need to finish painting first, so let's put that out of the way and not spill water all over expensive electronics. So, we do need to do some touching up of the brown, which means washing out the paintbrush, which I forgot to do yesterday. Jaden says, in order to complete the trilogy, you need to do B&Q wicks and screw fixing the same day. I do like all of those shops, I will say. Lee from Anfield has joined. Thank you very much for joining, Lee. Nice to see you. Let's give this brush a wash out. This white spirit's probably permanently knackered now. It's had stuff washed out in it that many times, but we'll see. No, that's not too bad. My fairly knackered paintbrush by this point, but that became cheap with the Airfix kit anyway. Lee says he's come over from my live I just did. I didn't get a chance to catch it, Lee. I've been out literally all day. Since about 11 o'clock this morning, I've not stopped. But I'll try and catch up on that later if I get a chance. Let's try. Oh! Open the brown paint without spewing it everywhere. It needs a stir. The grey colour seems to have separated out from it. Let's just give that a quick stir. There we go. Right. So, fortunately, let me get the towel for my hands. Fortunately, around the edges where I did the outlines of the camo, don't really seem to need repainting. It's just sort of in the middle, up there and in the middle. So I don't have to try and trace along the edges really finely again. I'm probably going to spill over in them when I do the green anyway. But fortunately, rather fortunately, I think it's just sort of the middle of the brown sections that need touching up. I did say this would take 2 coats, and it probably will. I'm unsure about the green yet. But as I say, this is going to be the last stream, because I don't want to drag it on longer than it needs to be honest with you. So, If the green needs a second coat, I'll do that on my own time and just update you in my community posts and in Discord as well. So can you see what I'm doing on the camera? Yes, you can. I'll try and get as close to the edges as I go, of course, but I don't want to get right to the edges, because then if I end up painting slightly over, I have to do a second coat on there as well. I did put quite a thick coat of paint on yesterday, to avoid me having to do too much repainting, but again, I haven't brought a hairdryer into the loft, which I probably should have done, to be honest with you, but I didn't, so we'll just have to be careful when doing the green. I completely missed that edge there. Get that in. There we go. Right, that's that bit done. Up the side of the body now. Somebody's flying a plane outside and it's quite loud. You probably can hear that actually. And when I say flying a plane, I mean not RC. I mean a literal plane. If I shut up, you might be able to hear it. Don't know how good. I say this every stream, but I'm not sure how good the noise cancelling is on this mic. It does supposedly have noise cancelling, but with it being only £30 from Amazon, I say only £30, but you could get a Rode one that's nearer 200. Being only £30 from Amazon, I'm not sure how good the noise cancelling is. The audio quality is good, partially because it's literally clipped. There, you can see that ball, the wind muffler. Even though I am inside and there is no wind, I like to keep it on in case I'm accidentally exhaling down the mic, which I'm sure you would all really appreciate hearing several thousand times over the course of this stream. And I have decided, well, if Jaden the model builder agrees with me, Jaden, I think I asked this yesterday, I can't remember what you said, or if you were in at that point, but I said, what if, because the horrible khaki green colour, number 90 there, wrong camera, George, the horrible green colour that's supposed to do under here doesn't work. I've tried dissolving it in white spirit, it won't, even carburetor cleaner won't get it to dissolve. So what do you reckon, Jaden? Do you reckon I paint the underneath in black, in green, or brown? I was thinking brown, but you may suggest black or green. Bear in mind this Airfix model's never going to be hung up, it's never going to be upside down, it's literally just going to sit in a back corner of the layout like that. What Jaden colour, what colour, Jaden even, do you reckon I should paint it? I was thinking brown. If you think black or green would be a better colour, even just bear in mind it's literally just going to be sat at the back of the layout like that. Well, it'd be sat at the back of the layout like this, from your perspective. But, yeah, it's not going to be crashed, it's literally just a disused colour. It's literally just going to be a disused Spitfire in the corner of the layout, so what do you reckon? When I say disused, I may even just sort of invent some sort of story that, oh, I don't know, the owner of the coal yard's granddad or something flew this plane and he bought it off the military or whatever, and then he likes to store it near his coal yard. I may just invent some daft backstory like that, but we'll see. I was thinking green. Sorry, I was thinking brown, but let me know what you think, considering you're the expert model builder among us. Whatever you think fits in with the scenery around it best. Well, it's going to be sat in a green field. Now you might say, well, green for the grass, but then also you might say, oh, well, brown for the mud. But then you might also say, oh, well, black, because it's neither of those colours. So, in the chat, as a general consensus, and from people who know a heck of a lot more than me about painting and such, what colour do you reckon? The supposed colour is out of the question, but the Spitfire, you're never going to see the underneath anyway, but I just similarly don't want to leave it blue in case, you know, I accidentally catch the underneath with a camera or something and then I regret it, and it haunts the dreams until the day I die. That was quite morbid. Let's move on. Pete says, sorry, Jaden says brown or black. Pete says black. Jaden says whatever fits in with the scenery around it best. He also says I'd say brown or black. There isn't actually a lot of black on this model. And because this loft at the moment is a little bit shadowy, it might be quite useful to go black. Also, black would cover up this horrible... No, wrong camera. Also, black would cover up the sort of failed painting attempt with that initial colour. You can't see it because it is so poor paint, but just on the end of this wing here and there is that horrible failed colour. You can see it just about there. So I think black might actually disguise that better. So I think, dare I say, the general consensus seems to be black, so we shall paint the underneath black. I did realise yesterday I forgot to paint the tail brown, so hopefully we get a chance to do 2 coats. Yeah, so the general consensus seems to be brown or black. People are saying black, so I think I'll do black. I have spilt paint up the side. Never mind, the green will cover that nicely. In fact, it doesn't even matter because it's camo, so it doesn't matter if it's spilt slightly, I can just leave it. I am going roughly off the painting instructions on the box, but I am not a perfect painter, and I do not have extremely steady hands either, so... I'm not going to go too near these exhausts because I don't really want to have to try and paint them again, especially now the brown's wet. Not going to see the underneath anyway. And that'll do. Right, so with this last bit under here, that's the last of the brown that needs to go on, and then I can start, well, I'll do the brown on the tail. And then I'll start thinking about doing the green. Yeah, that don't look too bad. Right, so we need to do the brown on the tail. So let me think about how we're going to do that. So we just want to bloop along there. So, oh, that didn't go very well. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, not enough paint, Bailey. Ignore that. Cover your ears. Right, bit of a splodge across there, and now I need to remember which bit needs to be brown and which bit needs to be black. Oh, I forgot that wing's that horrible mucky colour, isn't it? Right, let's whack a really thick coat of paint on an area and hope I don't have to come back and repaint it later. I'm aware this is not at all how you should paint, but it's how I'm going to paint because I am cack-handed and awful at painting, so if I can avoid painting something twice I will. So all this bit in the middle wants to be brown. I nearly said all this bit in the brown wants to be middle then. That would make no sense. The tail, oh, there is actually, this could be slightly problematic. The tail does need a little bit of green on the back, so if I just do that, you can't see this, but then neither can I really. If I just do that and leave that bit green, that'd be alright, wouldn't it? Perfect. I'll switch to the other camera. You might be able to see a little bit better what I'm doing. Do I dare try and paint with my right hand? I mean, I am left-handed, but... So you can see what I'm doing. It might be better if I just use the non-dominant hand and painted like this for you. So at least you can see what I'm doing. I've just painted that entire thing brown. It was only supposed to be brown for a portion of it. You wally! Never mind. It can be relatively easily fixed, he says. And I will attempt to just wipe it off, but I don't know how well that'll work. Right. I'm going to assume on the other side of the tail there should be a slight bit of green as well, so I'm just going to sort of section it off and leave that bit green. You know, I'll leave the top bit green. Paint that bit brown and put a bit of green in between. That should be good. There isn't every angle of painting. There isn't every angle of the plane, so you can see what the colours are on the other side of the tail. I presume then you're just supposed to sort of guess or get a reference photo, but I don't have those, so I'm just going to guess. Jaden says that camo is generally quite. You got a bit of leeway with it anyway. Right, I'm now going to try and remove. Dare I even bother with this? Oh, I've got cotton buds. Don't use the towel. Sensible. Use cotton. Do I dip them in white spirit, or do you reckon I'll just sort of wipe off? So yeah, there should be a bit through here that's not brown. And it may already have dried too much. Call that good enough. Where's the bin? Let's try and... Whip! Yay, I got it in the bin and not on the floor. Right, let's... Oh, flipping no, the brown... Oh, the brown paint has just spilt all over the workbench. Never mind, it's an old towel anyway. Ugh. Oh well. I'll try and use that that's on the towel before going in the pot. Let's be more careful about where you put your paint. Right, let's do the brown up there, and then we can fill that last bit in green. If I just go like that and make it a bit wobbly. Oh, that was almost perfect, that little wobbly line. Okay, that's good. So before we spill any more paint, let's do that with the brown paint and be careful not to stick my finger in that. Can I just ask, how's the background music? Because I'm aware sometimes it can go a little bit out of hand, but you shouldn't really be able to hear it all that much when I'm speaking. But when I stop speaking to fill the awkward silence, you should just be able to hear it in the background. So if I shut up, well, is it very just ever so slightly tinkling away in the background when I'm speaking now, and then if I shut up, is it just sort of gently in the background? You shouldn't be able to, it shouldn't be like subwoofering out or anything. I'll shut up and you can have a listen. If it needs turning down, do let me know, but sometimes it does randomly get a little bit out of hand when I change. Obviously I'm not running trains, so there's not as much background noise today. Anyway, I will actually stop now and let you have a listen. Music is good, not too loud. Okay, thank you very much. That's good to know. Can hear when you're talking and not talking. Right. As long as it's not... I could try turning it down just a couple more decibels if necessary. I just don't want you to be able to sort of struggling to hear me. I may turn it down just another decibel. It's on minus 41.5 at the moment, so let's try minus 40. That's minus 43.5, so I've gone down 2 decibels. That might be a little bit better. Anfield says, well, Lee says, like your work setup, workbench, nice setup. Yeah, thank you very much. It's on wheels. I'm not going to jiggle it about. Oh yeah, I can actually. The paint pots. Yeah, it's on wheels. I've got locking casters, so I can lock it in place. Sorry, if necessary, but I generally don't tend to do that unless I'm going to be like sewing something on here. So I can lock all the casters in place. But yeah, it's just a workbench, flat here. It's got a little shelf down there, a little ridge on the top, heatproof mat for soldering and storing tools in, screwdrivers and stuff. And yeah, it's quite good. Me and my dad built this, and then I modified it to be slightly less tall, so it would go under some of the baseboards easier. Yeah, I dismantled it and cut it down myself because it was a little bit too tall when I had this carpet underlay that you can't really see. But I added some carpet underlay to the loft to, help it be a bit easier on the feet. So I had to cut this down and make it slightly less tall because it did catch on the supports for the baseboards quite a bit. Rightio then. I think it's time. Oh, I've just knocked my, well, not earpiece out, but my headphone my one. I have one wireless earbud in, so I can listen to, well, the background music if necessary to turn it down, and when I play the intro and outro, I can hear those audios in my ear. Because if I have it blasting on the laptop, it's the chance it'll couple to the microphone, which is just there. So I have one wireless earbud in. Again, quite recently, you know, since I've started doing these streams again, I have made my setup less wireless, less wired, if you know what I mean. So obviously all the webcams are plugged in, and I have added a wire for Ethernet now, which means we can actually run these streams. But I've switched to wireless headphones, so I can just hear them in one ear and have the other one open, and then wireless microphone here as well. Quite good. Right, green. Please, please, please tell me the green from memory isn't all cacked up, but I hope it hasn't become cacked up since I last checked. Let's try and open the green without firing stuff everywhere. Yes. Okay, so, ooh, it's not a very... wrong camera. All sorts of mixes of colours in there. I'm used to having this camera on here. So let's try and mix that together, and hopefully it doesn't all just break. Oh no, that's mixed. That's mixed fine. That's a bonus. So let's get... I've cleaned the paintbrush. Let's get doing the green section. This could be rather nerve-wracking, considering I've just gone and neatly done all the brown. But yes, let's try and do the green. And then once this has had time to dry, I'll flip over and do the black underneath. I think we decided upon it. Yeah, the green paint seems to be fine. Going on nicely. That's a bonus. I'm just trying not to stray into the brown too much. If I just paint slightly over it, I can still get the nice sort of looping edges like that. Make sure I get the front surface of the wing. Yeah, we've got some green. We've definitely got green on here now. Pete says here you're fine, George. Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's work along the same wing. That makes sense. So I'm going to repaint the little squiggles because that means I'm just going to be conscious about not going into the brown. There we go. So I've just whacked that clear plastic here. Sorry, the bit I haven't painted. Fortunately, I didn't hit the bit I have painted. I'll put the other camera on. In fact, if I put both cameras on like this, you can sort of see what I'm doing in two ways, can't you? So if I put both cameras on, hopefully it's not too disorientating having four hands on the same screen. If it gets annoying, do let me know, but I think that'll be best. So you can see what I'm doing and I don't have to worry about constantly changing the camera. I'm only going to paint up to there on that wing because that brown needs a little bit longer to dry. I don't really want to end up mixing both of them. Alright, now comes the nerve-wracking bit. In fact, let's do this one first. Now comes the nerve-wracking bit of working around the fuselage. Make sure to get the very edge of the wing. I feel like if I actually complete this without massively nosing up the painting, I should just be received with an honorary art degree, because this is quite difficult. I keep running out of paint. Keep your brush topped up. Top tip. Yeah, this isn't looking too bad, look, so I'm going to just try and follow the lines I made with the brown paint and just slightly paint over them with the green. I think that's my best bet, to not worry about straying over into the lines. The colours on the box, I'm not going to say are misleading, but certainly not like the colours I have now. I mean, this set is 13 years old, but you know, the colours on the box look a lot lighter than the colours on the plane. Hopefully they are still true to life. I'm sure Jaden will be able to tell me how the colours are looking in comparison to real life. Yeah, so the colours you're seeing on this camera here, the one at the camera on the right, this one, are pretty accurate to the colours I'm seeing in real life. So yeah, as you can see, compared to the box, colours aren't all that similar. I mean, they're brown and green, but you know, they're not super accurate. So hopefully the colours on the model, and I'm sure Jaden is writing the comment now to tell me, hopefully the colours actually appearing on the model now are slightly more true to life than the ones that are on the box. Jaden, if you could let me know, that would be appreciated. This isn't actually looking too bad. Ah, Jaden's come with a response, thank you. The brown could be a tad more brown, okay. However, you could say that the colour of the paint is faded. Yes, suppose faded in the sun, as it's disused if you wish. Yeah. I didn't consider that. Good suggestion. And I'll paint again. Dip the old brush in and then wipe it off on the side. I think it's the best policy. Can I support that on there? Yeah, I can just paint that in. Oh dearie me, there's too much paint on it now. I've just knocked that as well. Oh, never mind, that was going to be green. That's fine. Too much paint. I've gone from not enough paint to far too much paint. Typical. I'm just going to get round the cockpit again. I managed to get that pilot painted brown pretty well. His helmet's still green, but I managed to get the pilot painted brown pretty well, even though he was in situ. I'm pretty pleased with that. What time are we on? Today I'm going to stop, hopefully on time, and by on time I mean at 8, so not 8:45, 6:45, 18:45 hours if you want to be posh. So yeah, that's when I'll be stopping, 7:15. What time are we on now? 10 to 6. Okay, so we've basically got an hour. Like the 33 minutes OBS is telling me. Let's try and tip it this way without covering myself completely in paint. Well, let's make that transition into brown a little bit more vigly. There we go. I'm not going to worry about accidentally hitting paint on the underside, because as I've said, we are going to paint the underside black. Which is completely unprototypical, evidently, but the paints I have, these, and they're the only paints I have, yeah, the colour for the underneath is not available to us because it's just gone all like a putty rather than a paint. And once this is dry, which hopefully it dries in time to do the water slide decals, hopefully. we can do the water slide decals, and I'll try not to make a complete pig's ear of them. Somebody suggested I should get some helping hands, and I very much agree. That was Timber Valley who suggested that. I manage alright soldering, it's just could really do with something to hold this steady, but then I suppose having the infinite range of movements and tiltings you can make with your hands are a little bit better than constantly bending ball and socket joints. A helping hand, but yeah, for quite a lot of this operation it would be useful to have some. Oh, that's good. The little brown splodge had accidentally strayed into the blue area there as the greens covered that up fine, so I don't have to worry about that. Hope I don't have a muscle twitch when I'm doing the edges of this. That would be catastrophic. Right, that's not looking too bad. Now I'm just going to quickly go around the bits that have dried, that I've already painted. Like that. Yeah, the green paint seems to be drying nice and quick, which is good. It is a lot warmer up here, mind you, it is about 3 hours earlier up here as well than it was yesterday, so... Green seems to be drying nice and rapidly. This brown up here, around here, is almost ready for painting by the looks of it as well. Yeah, I've just done that bit. This bit wants doing. And the black should dry even quicker than the green because it's, it's darker colour, absorbs heat better, absorbs thermal energy. If I'm going to be my physics persona, well, I say physics persona, I literally just am physics, but just catch that in the different wing there. Oh, let's not get green paint all over my pliers, sticks, whatever. Jaden has said also with regards to the underside, some Spitfires had the underside half black on the right and half white with a hint of sky blue on the left. I believe that was on the Mark II though. He said next you should do the P-51 Mustang, the American equivalent of the Spitfire we're in this plane. Okay. Energy stores and transfers, a good topic indeed. That's not sarcasm, by the way, I actually like physics. So do I, specifically electricity. And now I'm going to expect you to come back and say that's my least favourite physics topic, because everybody normally does, because I am slightly weird. Electricity is such a good topic, it's such a good field to go into as well. I know it may not actually be hands-on, it's like with energy transfers and stuff, you can see, with thermometers and infrared measures and stuff like that, and Geiger counters if you're on about radiation and stuff. Stuff like that, you can actually, it's tangible, you can actually see happening and make some sort of sense. But with electricity, I guess in the sense that, there's, if you look at a wire, you might say, well, how do I explain this? Yeah, because of course, let me just have a think. Electricity is not quite as tangible a topic as stuff like I mean, you can't. Yeah. I mean, yes, radiation. Yes, you can see with electron microscopes, atoms and such. But you know, before I go into a massive rant, electricity, people say, and one of my best friends has said quite rightly, it's less tangible. It makes less sense than other areas of physics. You can't quite see and grasp and physically understand what's happening as well as you can with other subjects. Like with radiation, you know, you've got Geiger counters and you understand that, you know, stuff will decay and then you get fusion and fission reactions and stuff like that. And I'm not going into the massive long physics rant about that, but electricity as a subject, just because by the nature of what it is, you know, you can sort of, let's think of it this way, if we're talking about stores and transfers, you know, sometimes you can see heat rays. If you have like a block of metal or, you know, you're doing a barbecue, you can see the heat rays rising off it and you can see that. But if you just look at a wire, you know, unless you start getting measurements and stuff out like that and measuring instruments, you can't tell that, you know, in the case of UK, unless you already know it or you have a meter to test it, you don't know that there's 240 volts in that wire. So in that sort of sense, people generally don't like electricity because, yes, it is quite a weird topic. Yes, it is less tangible, and because just by the very nature of what it is, it's, you know, a lot less easier to understand than other areas of physics. But, you know, I just find it a really interesting topic, and that's what I really enjoy doing. Hopefully that made sense to you. I hope it did. Jaden will be able to confirm or deny that. It probably didn't make much sense, to be quite frankly honest. Right, now I'm just trying to gently paint around this rudder. Made sense to me. Okay, well, if I got one person there, then that's good enough. I mean, it isn't really, to be quite frankly honest, but... Right, I'm going to try and have to hold... Right, if I paint with my left hand, let's spin this round and try and hold the front like so. And get green on this bit now. Can I rest that somehow on here? Yes, I can. I'm not even too worried about slightly getting a little bit of paint over the brown lines, to be honest with you, because it just adds to the effect that the sort of camo sort of just seemingly randomly morphs in and out of each colour. You know, there's no like straight line, it's all sort of wibbly wobbly between colours, so I'm going to use that as my excuse for slightly poor painting mishaps. What time is it? 6 o'clock, so I've got 45 minutes to do any more green painting and get the waterslide decals on. Oh, and I need to think about making a rear wheel for this as well, don't I? I'll probably just cut a bit of sprue out that looks about right and then just slap it on. As I say, you're not going to see it, it's just going to sat it back at layout, so... Forbidden painting technique, but I've just noticed a tiny bit of brown on there that I can't be bothered cleaning the paintbrush out again for, so I'll just dab it on with the stick. There we go, that's fine. You can see under here I've strayed underneath. It's going to be painted black anyway, so it doesn't matter. Really. I don't have to be as careful underneath. Seeing as together we have decided it will just be black. So I don't need to paint that bit along the I just said. Just touch this in. Jaden likes nuclear stuff. Fair enough, yeah. It falls under the same topic, yeah. Electricity is very good. Yes, electricity is the best physics topic, and if you argue with me, you will be electrocuted immediately. You won't, but I'll just say that. Yeah, electricity is good. Thermistors. That's just a really satisfying word to say. Also, Fool Bridge Rectifier, if you watch Electro Boom. I'm not going to start explaining what that is now, but if you watch Electro Boom, or you have even come across his channel before, you will know what I've just said. Electro Boom's channel is brilliant. So is Big Clive, actually. I started off watching Electro Boom, and then I now watch Big Clive. I love Big Clive. He's brilliant. Just crossed 1 million subscribers as well, so in the off chance that Big Clive watches this video, which he never will, but I'll say it anyway, congratulations to Big Clive for reaching 1 million subscribers. Yeah, I think that's possibly the most deserved 1 million subscribers out of any channel on YouTube, if I'm going to be honest. Apart from mine, of course, but that's just never going to happen. Unless Elon Musk buys me like 900 and odd thousand fake subscribers. Anyway. It isn't looking too bad now, is it? That was my stomach, if you just heard that. I'm starving. I haven't had any lunch. Mind you, we are going out for tea at 8, so yeah, that's why I want to finish at about 7:15. As Jaden said earlier, even if the painting's not perfect, it doesn't really matter because it'll just add the effect that this plane has been stood for a number of years. In the coal yard, it'll just go at the corner of the coal yard. It'll just add to the effect that it's been not used for a very long time. As much calamities as has occurred during these streams, it has been a very enjoyable process. I joked, I think, in one of them, I said I'd never do one of these again. But you know, if I actually remember to use it within the, well, use it inside a decade, because this is 2010. It wasn't given to me in 2010, but it was made in 2010. I may actually have a chance of getting paints that work. If you don't mind me asking, what are you doing for A-level or college, whatever you're doing? I am doing physics, chemistry and maths. Fun, fun, fun. It probably won't be, but at the moment it's actually surprisingly manageable. Yes, the old physics, the old chemistry, and the maths. Maths was compulsory because you can't do physics without maths. So I'd have probably rather not picked maths because I'm not all that good at it, to be honest. I mean, I got a 7, but GCSE, but yeah, it's not my favourite. Right, let's try and get the front round the propeller green without completely nosing everything. There's now nowhere I can really hold onto the model to unless I support it from underneath. But, so I'll just have to be very careful. Try and not get green on the prop, which I've repainted 3 times already. But if I just hold my little middle finger on it there, that's alright. Try and not get green all over the exhausts as well, that'd be helpful. Oh, I've already got green on the propeller. Damn it! I have to wash the brush out and repaint. Unless I've got a Sharpie in the drawer, that's probably going to get me a lot of abuse in the comments, particularly from Jane in general. But can I just Sharpie that? In fact, shall I test it on a piece of sprue to see how close to black it is? Do I Sharpie it? Well, let's try. Well, we'll see how that turns up. If it doesn't turn up, I'll just have to paint it. It's not like I've made it worse by painting it black. But if I have to paint it black, well, I'd have had to paint it black anyway, so by putting Sharpie on it, it's not exactly ruined it, has it? Oh, this is getting quite difficult now. I can barely see what I'm doing, never mind you seeing what I'm doing. I'm not normally painting with my right hand, but I can't really currently get in any better. And also you can sort of see what I'm doing then, so that's a bonus. Brave and do a quick stripe under the exhaust. Yes, I think that's got it. I may not repaint around the propeller again, it depends. That bowl of water for the waterslide decals is probably freezing cold by now. Or clap cold, as you might say. Oh, I've just got some green paint on the... I've just got some green paint on the exhaust, on the very forward front one, so I may just wash the brush out and paint black anyway and paint the propeller black. Has the propeller Sharpie dried the same colour? You know what, it has. Anyway, I'll still repaint the exhaust for the 4th time now. I don't really want to have to paint these exhausts around the propeller again, because that was very difficult. I've just dropped my chair so I can get closer to the model. I'm going to put this camera on now. I'm going to get my head right down in front of the... Let's try not to stick a head full of hair in the camera. Oops. Damn it. I've just got to get under here now. This is very difficult if you haven't noticed. Very difficult. 6:10. Probably not going to get this finished today as I'd hoped, but I'm not overly concerned. But I would really like to say, oh yes, we did all of this together on stream, but you see. Any of this dry enough to pick up now? No, that most certainly is not dry enough to pick up now. What about the brown? Let me try. Give my hands a scrub before I get green on brown and then have to repaint all of it again. Wow, it actually looks quite decent in that. What happens if I put my hand behind it? Can I put something behind it so you can see it a little bit better? No, not really. I was hoping it might cast some sort of shadow so you can see the colours better. A small bit of green on the exhaust should be fine, just say that it's moss. Fair point. Right, let me just check that this brown's definitely not sticky. Oh, yes, we're in. Oh, I've just nearly fallen off the... This is a height adjustable chair, by the way, as I'm sure you can tell by the fact I'm standing up and pressing buttons, and excuse the hoodie ties. Right, let's not put a finger in the green, because that would not go very well. We must just touch the brown. Oh, that's actually painted under there half decently. Get that final bit in there. Right. Is that painted enough to not warrant painting it again? I'll paint the large blocky bits again, but I don't really want to have to... Oh, I didn't get quite under them exhausts. There we go. Didn't get quite around there either. Yeah, that's alright. What about around the other side? Hands are shaking now. Woo! I'm not painting round there again. Right, let's get some speed on and get painting in black now, because we're going to do the underside, touch up the propeller where the moss has grown, and on the exhaust where the moss has grown, and with any luck we'll paint the underneath. Let's not get white spirit on my fingers, because I'll touch the brown paint and then it'll all just come apart. Yeah, that really doesn't look too bad. 1:15. Half an hour to go. How many? There's hundreds of waterslide decals on that sheet. I may just put the big ones on, to be honest, but we'll see. I don't even know if the instructions tell you where to put them, to be honest. No, they don't. That's a bit useless. I presume they're optional, but nowhere on the instructions does it tell you where to put the very fine decals. So I'm not going to bother, and I'm just going to put the main ones on that I can see in the picture on the back of the box. Somebody like Jaden will probably know off by heart exactly where all of them go, but I don't, so I'm not going to bother putting all the tiny... I mean, some of these are sub-millimetre. Those ones, I know they're blurry, but those ones at the end of my finger there are literally sub-millimetre, so I'm not going to bother putting them on. I'm just going to put the big ones on that you can see. So that is the OW, is that DW or O? Anyway, the RAF ones there and there, the sort of French flag ones there and there, the P9495 on both sides. I'll do that. I'll put those logos on as well. But honestly, yeah, I am not going to spend all eternity putting all the smallest, tiniest decals on, because A, it's not in the instructions, B, it's not on the box, and C, it's just really not, it's just going to be a colossal waste of time to do all of that. It's really not necessary, and even if I did put them all on, you're not going to see, especially when it's an abandoned Spitfire at the back of the layout. So, it's not worth it's just really not worth putting all them on. I mean, you can't even read the text on some of them, so yeah. I'm just going to put the big obvious ones on, but yeah, it's just not worth my time and effort for the overall result and effect it's going to provide. Jaden says those ones go on the tail underneath the stabilizer. See, I told you somebody'd have it memorised. And look at that, somebody did. Right, let's quickly but effectively and neatly get painting in black. So we may have to do the old carburetor spray trick, and it's all leaked down the side. Has it stayed paint-like, or are we going to have to do the old carburetor trick? Yes, it needs carburetor spray. Okay. I must have used half of this carburetor spray on this one model. Let's try and not get carburetor spray on the plastic Spitfire, or it will just all dissolve and go horrible. I do need to make a piece of fabric as well to act as a canopy cover, which I am going to do, but I'm not going to get time during this stream. I will post a short 2 or 3 minute update video and a look around the Spitfire against a white background when it is all 100% finished, but it's not going to be 100% finished today. We'll probably get the water slides on, but other than that, it's not going to be finished today. I need to re-glue the cockpit on, think about making a back wheel, and all of that. So I'll post when this is done, and I'll finish it in my own time. You know, in the next couple of days, I'll post an update video. And just 2 or 3 minutes long, just explaining what I've done as a sort of conclusion to the series. And I'll get it in my white background. That's the wrong pot of paint. I'll get it in against my white background, so you can all have an up close look at it. That propeller's done good enough. I'm going to touch up the black. Wrong pot of paint! Touch up the exhaust. On the top side, because the bottoms are fine. I've just strayed slightly on with the paint on the top side, so just do the top and the top and the sides. I'm not going to worry about the bottom because they're fine. There we go, and now hopefully the underneath has dried to paint the... I'm going to move that green out of the way before I end up putting that somewhere it shouldn't be. Hopefully now, yes, it looks like it is just about dry enough. Let's just check. Yeah. That is now dry enough. Oh, I've just noticed another bit of brown I've missed. Let's see if we can do it with the stick. Let's get a bit of stick. There's just a tiny little bit of brown there that needs dabbing in like that. Come on. I really don't want to have to wash the paintbrush out just for that. I really don't want to wash the paintbrush out just for that tiny little dot. There, that'll do, I think. Right, let's do an old flip. Yeah, it's really not looking too bad, that. Right, let's give it a flip and get painting black. So we want to start like that. And hold it somewhere in the middle and get painting black. Oh, that's not gone very well, that, has it? I get the feeling it may need several coats of black to cover this horrible green paint that's not really worked. Shame. How's it working on the blue? Not all that well, actually. I'm just going to give it a quick stir, actually. Black's not doing as well on the colours. It needs a bit of a massage. There we go. No, I think it's going to need several coats. It's not doing too badly. If I'm going to bother to paint the underneath, I may as well bother to paint the underneath completely perfectly black, or as close to perfect black as this paint will get me. No, it's actually not looking too bad a black, actually. Yeah, it's covering it better than I thought. I think it was just because it was a large area. Oh, I've just realised there's a bit of black missing on these wheels as well. Let's just touch that up while we're at it. Oh, there we go. That's fine now. Yeah, just a little bit I missed. Probably not going to get time for the decals today. Got to be careful not to slip with the brush and accidentally get black paint underneath on all the green or the brown, because yeah, certainly won't be able to paint over that even with it being black. I think we're going to need some more carburetor spray. I'll have none left by next spring when I start servicing my mowers again. I should do a live stream of repairing a mower. That might be annoying for the neighbours. Never mind. Jaden is now crying into his pillow because of how awfully unprototypical this is. Oh, yes, I remember. I was supposed to glue that, wasn't I? There's a piece here that I've accidentally knocked and broke. Tiny little piece, so I'm just gonna... some glue around it and sort of prop it up. Because I knocked it and broke it the other day. Well, I say the other day. I think it was yesterday. And that will set quite quickly, so... Oh my god, that wasn't supposed to happen. Right, is the green dry enough to hold? Yes. Okay, that's good. Oh, I've missed a comment from earlier. Jaden says his dad overheard the part about you doing physics, chem and math. He says, hats off to you, you sound like a smart and bright kid. Well, thank you very much. I'll try my best to get by. I mean, you've got to be slightly mad in the head to do 2 sciences and math, but, you know, it should be rewarding at the end of it. Oh, excuse me. Good luck with your courses too, thank you. Sorry, I missed those comments earlier. I did read them, I just didn't read them out for whatever reason. Apologies. Let's not knock that part. I've just ever so carefully painted, glued. Let's try and paint that. Gluing the paintbrush bristles together. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have attempted to paint this with a horrible colour. I didn't think it was going to work, but I was hoping it might, but it just hasn't. It looks terrible. Pete says you can say that this Spitfire is highly flammable, no naked flame sign needed. No, well, we've got White Spirit over there, and I swear 85% of the black paint on this Spitfire must just be carburetor cleaner at this point, so you're definitely not wrong. Pete gets, I think with all the jokes Pete keeps making, I think he'd probably get Top Joker of the Year award, to be honest with you. He must be collecting rings was an excellent one. That's probably the best joke that I'd go as far as saying the best joke made on my streams. Although, mind you, coming up not a long amount of time is my Christmas special, and in that we do have a train-related joke competition, in which my dad was actually watching the stream downstairs on the telly last year and ended up texting me and joining in as well. So yeah, we do have a set of activities during my Christmas special streams in which you can win. The prize is, well, winning and the joy of having victory, but also I do give brief shout outs as well to the winners of the competitions as well. So yes, we'll have my annual Christmas special coming up in about a month and 10 days, something like that. But in that, year on year, we do a train related joke competition. We try to make it Christmas and train related, but if that's a bit of a push, people have had one too many brandies, then I just say make it train related. Pete might have won that one last year as well. I can't exactly remember, but I've got a feeling that Pete won that last year. Of course, it is completely subjective because I am the only person who has control over this channel and the stream, so it is literally just my opinion, but it's all a bit of fun and games. Oh well, I haven't actually managed to leak black paint all over this side, that's a bonus. Oh no, I've just dipped it up. There we go, easily remedied. I don't know why I'm bothering to be really meticulous and go in all the wheel holes, because you're not going to see them. But, and again, why am I bothering painting the underside if you're not going to see it? But, oh well. Going a little bit stringy is this paint again, so you know what time it is. Need a bloopers reel too. Isn't literally every single one of my videos ever made just a massive blooper though? I do save when I record, or I did say when I record. I'm going to try and save bloopers. Sometimes I might do what Sam's Trains did for a while. I don't know if he still does, and stick them in at the end of the video. If they're just stuff of me speaking really off and going on massive tangents and not even really making much sense, I won't put it in. Might be fun to do if something happy happens, if something interesting happens. What time are we on? 31. We've got 15 minutes left. Well, 14, but 15. Pete says, knocked the paint, wrong camera, falling off seat, thing spinning. You're not wrong. Says it'd be 9 hours longer, Jaden. Yeah. I'm not sure I could bear to watch myself commit all the model making crimes again. I'll probably watch this video back in 6 months when I am actually decent at model making and think, why on God's green and luscious earth did I do that? But hey ho, I'm in the present now, so can't really worry about that. Workbench. I've got my foot resting on one of the beams that connects two of the casters together on the workbench, and the workbench just keeps slowly getting pushed away from me. I keep forgetting to breathe. I keep holding my breath in when I'm painting so I'm not like jigging up and down. But I keep forgetting to breathe, which is what that massive long exhale is. And then I realise and I'm like, ah yes, I'm suffocating. I remember I should probably breathe now. Do you like Hot Wheels? No, I used to be a massive car fan, not so much anymore, switched to trains, but I don't mind Hot Wheels, I don't have any. My friend does, he buys and sells them, much like I buy and sell lawnmowers, but no, I don't hate them, I just don't have any. I'm pretty sure I had a little set as a child, but it doesn't look too bad. It needs a third coat, I've just put a second one on now, but yeah, it needs a third coat, definitely. But I'll best leave this to dry, otherwise I'll just end up mixing around wet paint, which isn't really going to help anyone or anything. There, but I don't think that looks too bad. For the second coat, that is not too bad at all. So what time are we on? 36. Have we got time to do any decals? Yeah, I think we can probably do one or two. Why not? Oh no, I can't actually. No, because this black paint's got to dry before I can turn it upside down. Unless I try and put decals on with the plane upside down, but I think that is a recipe for disaster. Breathes out, Ben shoots across the loft. I'm going to say I do sit quite into a bit like, and then it just go bang over there. Yeah, you're quite right. Oh, my hoodie sleeves have decided to make their way further down my arms. Right. Oh, the Gordon Bennett, I haven't... You wally. I haven't done the underside of the rudder area. Oh, no, I've got paint stuck to me. Yeah. That's nasty. That's nasty. Or more like I forget to breathe and end up face planting in the Spitfire because I've just died because I haven't been breathing. Right, let's get some paint slapped on here. Well, gonna need some more of this. Not too much. I should say thank you for joining me, King, as well. I forgot to announce to people that you're in the stream. Thank you for joining. I just read your comments out. Right. That's not too bad. I'm not going to try and give them another coat now. I'll just... Oh! As I was saying, I'm not going to try and give them another coat now. I shall just paint them for the second time when I paint the underbody for the second time. Best Hornby diesel, the class 60, is that 66? I can't see. OBS, yes it does say class. Is the best Hornby diesel class 66 or 33? Jaden from on the main line says the 66s are very good. I did have a Lima one, which I understand apart from the actual mechanism are basically identical to the Hornby 66s. I haven't had a Hornby 33 though. I know they do ones with... Lima did one with a ring field, well, a pancake motor. I think Hornby will have done one with the same tooling as Lima, but with probably Hornby's ring field, so... I don't know. Out of the two, I prefer the 66 over the 33, although both are nice locos. The West Coast Railways 33s are lovely locos, lovely liveries as well. So I keep trying to... On West Coast Railways tours, I mainly use 57s. And 47s, or 37s, more specifically for stuff like the Scarborough Spire Express Rail Tour, but they very rarely take the double headler 33s, and I've been trying for a number of, well, a year or so now to try and catch them when the 33s are out, but yeah, I understand they don't go out very often. And all the things on Rail Advent and stuff like that just say, oh yes, it'll be a 47 or a 57, just because that's what they use most of the time. But yeah, I did find a website which does advertise for 33 rail tolls, but it's not the most reliable. Right, I think I am going to call it there before I get carried away with doing decals and stuff. So, the Spitfire is upside down. Do I dare turn it upside down? Is that paint dry enough? It will be sat across the wings as well. Let's do a poke test. Poke. No, that paint's still too sticky. So I dare not turn this upside down, but I'm going to call it there 5 minutes early because it is now, 4 minutes early. It is now 6:41. And I don't want to get bogged down with starting decals now and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's not something I am going to do. So, I will, in a moment, in fact, I'll tell you what, I will be able to hold the Spitfire, I just won't be able to place it down and leave it. So, let's do a bit of twiddly finger action. Try and hold it as best I can. So, here is our more or less complete Spitfire. Apologies for the lighting, it's not all that great. But, this is how the Spitfire looks now. So, this is part 4. I will continue this in my own time. As I say, it's just not worth doing another stream over it. I think it'd become boring just sticking decals on. So what I'll do is I'll get a spare bit off the sprue. I'll manufacture a new plastic back wheel, stick that in and paint it black. That's what I'll do with that. I'll stick the cockpit on in my own time as well. I'll stick the cockpit on there and then make a little bit of grey fabric for the canopy cover. I will repaint the underneath black again just to get that to be completely black, although as you can see there it's really not all that far off. And then I will make a very short video, 2 or 3 minutes, just taking some shots in my white background with some decent lighting to get you to be able to see it up close, and I might do a little bit of a conclusion about things I've learned and stuff like that as well. So yeah, that should be quite fun, but I hope you'll agree with me. This really, for a first attempt, doesn't look too bad at all, does it? I have just realised that this green blob on here should actually be a little bit bigger, but so I may make that bigger, or I may just leave it as it is, to be honest with you. I may sort of extend it out a little bit in my own time. In fact, I think I will do, because this brown bit here looks far too big compared to on the diagram. But yeah, so I'll just extend this green splash out a little bit, and that should be fine. So yes, thank you very much indeed for watching, everyone. This Airfix kit building series. I'll just place that upside down to leave it to dry now before I put fingers somewhere I shouldn't have done. Yeah, thank you all very much indeed for watching this Airfix Spitfire building series. There's much calamities and things that have gone wrong in them. I have very much enjoyed building it and having your support and ideas to help me build this Spitfire as well. Yes, it has been very enjoyable. Do I think I'd do another Airfix kit again? Yes, but I don't think I'd go much more complicated than this. I definitely think I need to get a couple thousand of these basic kits under my belt before I try and do any more complex ones, because I'm not going to lie, this has been quite difficult. I don't do painting at all, I don't do kit building at all, but it has been definitely a bit of a learning curve, and hopefully my skills have sort of improved painting, and you know, because I'm definitely going to need that for the layout. So yeah, thank you very much for watching indeed, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, a slightly earlier stream today as I am going out to tea. Pete, I've just noted your comments. Thank you very much. I will enjoy my tea out. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. And yeah, so this is the end of the live streams on the Airfix Spitfire build. Next week we'll not be doing this. There is no stream tomorrow because I'm busy. We've got some family coming round for tea, and I'm going to be putting the jigsaw up in the loft tomorrow. So I'll show you that for next week's stream. So yeah, next week's stream, haven't got one tomorrow. We will be back on the layout. Excuse me, running trains as you'd normally expect me to on these Highbrook End Model Railway live streams. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Just a quick thank you to everyone in the chat. So that's Jaden from On the Main Line, Pete from Pete's Transport and More, Kurt from the Model Shed. Who else have we had? We've had McKing447. Thank you very much for joining. We've had Lee from Anfield Road Layout in the Loft. Thank you very much, all of you people in the chat. Thank you to all the viewers who may have not been in the chat. And yeah, do enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, everyone. Do take care, and well, I'll see you next week, and bye for now.